Hey,
Hi.
I'm Obi, this is Sebastian, and welcome to the first edition
Yep.
of Father and Son's
Fishing adventures.
Awesome Fishing Adventures. That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
So
awesome fishing adventures.
we're really excited to start this show. We're in Maine, the town of Denmark. It's April 4th.
Tell them
and
where we're fishing.
I'm getting to that. We're fishing on Hancock Pond in Denmark, Maine. Now, half of the lake still has ice on it. The air temperature today is about 50 degrees. I'm guessing the water temperature is probably only in the high 30s. So we're talking about cold water fishing mostly for smallmouth and largemouth bass.
Yep.
This lake also has a healthy population of brown trout, and the main food in this lake for all of these fish is smelt. It's a great cold water fishery for the brown trout and both the smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, and trout eat a lot of smelt in the water. That's their staple here. So we're going to use today a great springtime bait called the silver buddy. It's really a blade bait. So this extra weight on the bottom causes an imbalance. As you pull the weight, it makes the bait wiggle. So we're going to let it sink to the bottom. We're going to pull it up with our rods. It's going to wiggle like this, and we'll let it drop and wiggle. This will mimic some smelt. This will mimic what the fish are eating. So I'm going to tie this on, and you're going to record me tying this on.
Okay.
I'm going to use a simple knot called a Palomar knot. It's one of the knots I typically use most of the time because it's really easy and quick to do, and it works really well. I put both ends of the line through the hole. I simply start to do a bow, slide the whole bait through the loop, pull down, wet the line. I always want to wet the line when I tie a knot because sometimes when you don't wet the line, it causes friction, it heats up the line. We're using 12-pound monofilament, and monofilament has a lot of stretch to it, so we're going to use a medium heavy action fishing pole. So if we get a bite, we can pull up and get a lot of tension on that fish and hopefully set that hook. Now we're ready to go. We'll see you on the water.
Okay, bye.
Okay, here we are again. We're on the water. We're on Hancock Pond.
Yep.
Down here you can see the water temperature is actually higher than I thought it was. It's almost 49 degrees. So here's a map of the lake, and we're up at this end here. Unfortunately, and you probably can't see with the phone, but half of the lake is still covered in ice, so our fishing area is limited. And this side of the screen on our Lowrance electronics is going to show us the depth. Over here we've got speed, water temperature, and we're going to give it a go. So we're going to go up to the edge of the ice over there, probably in 20-30 feet of water, and we're going to use those blade baits for hopefully some smallmouth bass. Smallmouth bass are going to be more active in the rocky areas in the cold water. We may later on find some shorelines to throw some jerk baits in for some largemouth bass, but we also might catch, as I said earlier, some brown trout. This lake has a good healthy population of brown trout. They're feeding on the same fish the smallmouth bass are, and they're probably in the same depth. Yeah, there's some big brown trout in here. Okay, so ready to go? Let's say let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so this is how we're going to fish. We're going to take this blade bait, we're going to throw it out, we're going to flip the bail, we're going to let it sink all the way to the bottom. Once it hits the bottom, you can tell by looking at the line when the line stops sinking. Should be about 15 feet or so. We're going to pull up the tension. We're just going to give it little twitches. Let it sink, little twitches, and you can feel on the end of your line the bait wiggle. And we're going to do this for a little while, and hopefully we'll be back on video with a fish. All right. Okay, so here we are. You know, you can see right behind Sebastian, there's a layer of ice in this cove, and it's restricting us from really getting out in the water. A lot of it may melt during the process of the afternoon, but until then we're sort of trapped in this area. So we're going to make the best of it. And I'm always watching those fishing shows and reading the magazines about cold water fishing down south. They're talking about 50, 60 degree water. Well, they've got nothing on this. This is really early spring cold water fishing, and hopefully soon we have something to show you.
I got a fish. I got a fish.
You got one? Whoa! Awesome! You have got a nice brown trout on a blade bait. Sebastian, hold the video. I'll
Okay.
take off the fish. Good job. So you have a brown trout,
But not a bass yet.
not a bass, but still, you know, we can take this guy home.
Oh yeah, he was hooked good.
So here you can see, I'm trying to figure out, it's a stocked fish, but the fins that they clip to show you that they're stocked isn't evident. I would be surprised if they clipped that fin for stocking. Maybe they did. But that's a stocked brown trout. Good job, Sebastian.
Yay.
We're going to take this fish home, and it's okay to take these fish home because they stock these fish. There's an abundant supply. If we caught a bass, we'd let it go, but this looks like it's going to make some good spring rolls for later. All right?
I don't want it in a spring roll.
All right. That's a good one.
Yep, okay.
That's a good one.
You have a fish.
Oh, it's a big fish, buddy.
Do you know what fish it is?
I don't know, but it's big. It's a big one. It's a big one. This is a big fish. Holy crap.
Oh, wow. That's gonna be big.
This is a big fish. This is going to be a monster.
Oh.
This is a heavyweight rod. Look at it, bent right over like that. Wow. That is a huge smallmouth bass.
Oh.
This thing is massive. That is
Oh,
a giant.
wow.
That is a giant.
But where is it?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
wow.
That's not a bass. That's
Wait,
not
that's
a bass.
Trout. Is that
That's
a
a
trout?
sucker.
What is that?
That is a sucker. And I hooked him. Oh my God.
What?
He looked so, it looked just like a bass. It was so bronzy colored.
Oh, wow.
Look
What in
at
the
that thing.
world?
That's a big sucker. Not what we're after. Not what we're after, but that's a nice fish. I've never, ever caught a big sucker like this on a blade bait. This must have been what was hitting us all this time. Look at the size of that fish. Look at that. I thought I had a state record smallmouth. Are you videoing it?
Yeah.
This is a huge, well, as far as suckers go, he's probably not gigantic, but that's a big sucker. And this is not what we thought we were going to catch.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Here we go. Well, hey everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us on Hancock Pond in Denmark, Maine. Sebastian caught the first and only brown trout. And as you can see in the last clip, I caught what I thought was going to be a state record smallmouth bass. It turned out to be a big sucker. We didn't get to cover a lot of ground today, not just the ice, but we had mechanical problems. We couldn't get our big motor started.
Yeah.
But you had a good time, buddy?
Uh-huh.
I had a good time too. There's nothing like getting out in the water, having fun, catching some fish. And we're going to go fix the boat and try again tomorrow. See you next time.